Welcome back to KitchenAcademic.com. Marcus with you again. We're going to make another little something special. This is one of the recipes that kind of sticks with me. It's one of those ones that's in my head. It's one of the ones that I really don't actually have a recipe for. Sorry, that's just how it works sometimes with chefs. We have them locked up here. We can go ahead and knock it out just like it's nobody's business. But if you want to ask us to go ahead and prepare it and put it to paper, yeah, it gets a little bit complicated. What we're going to make is an eggplant melanzano. And what this is typically looked at as is basically a vegetarian, or if you omit a couple of ingredients, a vegan lasagna. We're going to start with the eggplant, obviously. What I want to do is slice these down into some kind of thick coins. So I'll go ahead and I'll trim away my end there. And I'm looking for something about yay thick. Something close to, I suppose, maybe a ½ an inch. Four slices should do me well enough. I don't want that small one there. So I'll take those. What I'll end up doing, we'll season them. A little bit of kosher salt. A little bit of black pepper. And then what I'm going to do is behind me over here I have my griddle preheated. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to it. And I'm going to saute these. While I have them here, I'll go ahead and I'll season the other side. Same seasoning, a little bit of kosher salt. And a little bit of black pepper. So we'll just let these saute for a couple minutes, then we'll come back to you once they're done. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes, and I've already turned the eggplant. I'm going to go ahead and remove them from the heat. I'm just going to set them on a plate and set them aside for just a couple minutes while we bring together the other components of this melanzano. Set that here for a moment. So some other things that we're going to add into there is I have some beautiful fresh basil here. What I want to do is I'll pick a couple leaves away from this. Bad leaf, good leaf, not so great leaf. There we go, that should be enough. I'll just kind of roll them up roughly and cut them down into a nice fine julienne. There we go. I'll set that aside on my cutting board right there. And then the other component I want to prepare here . Cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean cutting board can never be underrated. Get rid of that. Now, what I also have here is some fresh mozzarella. Now, this is not your typical mozzarella that you'll find in like your pizza shops or things like that. This is the actual fresh mozzarella. This is a little bit bigger than what I'm going to tell you, but you want to go out and look for a type called ovalline. This will get you the closest to this. The ovalline, it's a little bit smaller than this, maybe about, let's see if I can stand this up. Maybe about from where my finger is going up. Maybe about half that size. So What I want to do with this, I want to cut this down into some nice little slices. These I'm going to intersect and put in the middle of the melanzano. And since I said this is going to work much like a lasagna, this is going to take the place of the ricotta cheese that you would normally find in a lasagna. So we'll set that there. All right, now we're pretty much ready to assemble. So I'll go ahead and lay everything out on my cookie sheet here. See if I can grab a spoon. What I'll do, just because I don't want to use any more oil that is in the eggplant, because eggplant by its very nature is almost like a sponge. Any oil that I use to coat the bottom of the pan initially, a lot of it is going to soak into the eggplant. So I don't want to add any more. So I'm going to put down a layer of sauce, and I'll put down one piece of the eggplant. We're going to add one slice of the fresh mozzarella, a little bit of basil, a touch more sauce, and then we will repeat. Eggplant, cheese, basil, sauce. And we'll just keep going. Until we fill the whole thing here. Now for this top layer, all I want to do is have my marinara and my basil. I don't need any more of the mozzarella. There's plenty of it within the other layers. Now that right there is appetizing to me, just on its own. What we're going to do though is going to bake it in an oven preset for 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Since the eggplant is pretty much fully cooked at this point, all I'm looking to do is to heat up the whole sauce, all the sauces here, and to melt the cheese a little bit. So we'll see what it looks like in about 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, and we're gonna go check on this. And I like what I see. I very much so like what I see. Take a look at that. That is nice. So to finish this off, I just have a plate here with some salad greens on it. And this is going to be the most tricky part of the recipe here, transferring. So we'll try to come underneath this with a spatula, real quick like, bam, just like that. No muss, no fuss. And I guarantee you, any vegetarian would love to be served this. And pretty much anybody that I know of that can appreciate a good meal like this, especially with eggplant, they're gonna enjoy this as well. So, Eggplant Melanzano, remember, work smarter, not harder. I'll see you later.